If there's one thing you need to know about me, it's that this tooth, this one right here, that little bastard, is about 1 centimeter taller than the other teeth on that bottom row. And now, anytime you see my mouth open, you won't be able to unsee it. You're welcome. And the other thing you really need to know about me is that I cannot stand when people cause problems for customer service workers, in particular, fast food employees. I've made countless videos shitting on narcissists that are fishing for clout by exploiting fast food employees for views on TikTok or YouTube through pranks or just being a general nuisance, just a hemorrhoid on society. They're just normal people and they're getting paid minimum wage to deal with the most insufferable people on the planet. Just truly degenerate assholes, and my heart breaks for them. Fast food workers get abused more than a fleshlight. It sucks. And over the last week or so, there's been a new trend that has really blown up that once again just treats these human beings as if they're just NPCs, props for their TikTok and YouTube Shorts videos. It's filming your Chipotle order being made by the Chipotle worker.
I'll get a bowl. Yeah, for to go. I'll get white rice with that.
The idea is they're going to give you more food because they're on camera. And it spawned because people were starting to talk about Chipotle portion sizes being smaller than they used to be, which for the record I do believe. That is a conspiracy theory I'll put on the full tinfoil condom for, because I do think that's accurate, no matter how much the CEO likes to dance around in delusion and pretend that that's not the facts of it. I do think it is true. I used to get a Chipotle burrito after every lift in college, and I had innumerable Chipotle burritos, and over the last 3 or 4 years I've been very vocal about the quality of the food going down, in my opinion, and definitely, like, when I get burritos now, it's significantly less than I remember it being back then. But I also think that's just kind of the industry norm, because I think the same thing about many other fast food places as well. But anyway, someone on TikTok came up with a cure to this small portion disease, and it was to just film these workers doing their job and kind of give them a bit of a hard time and nudge them on camera to give them more food. And this started to really pop off because a lot of people noticed that, oh, when they're being filmed, they give you more food. So that's the cheat code. That's the life hack.
Rice black or pinto beans?
We'll do pinto beans with that.
Pinto beans, any protein for you?
We'll do chicken, please.
Chicken, any queso for you?
We need some more chicken in that.
More chicken?
Finna fire on your ass. Put that chicken in there.
All right, any queso for you?
This one is by far the worst I've seen from this trend here. This guy went in there looking to start shit. He's immediately aggressive and confrontational. The guy hadn't even put the fucking spoon fully into the chicken bowl there before he said, no, 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 need more chicken. He's there to stir a controversy for the sake of his video. And he is just shoving the camera down this guy's throat. If the worker had bent over, the camera guy here would have given him a full-blown fucking colonoscopy. He is right up in his business to just be this insufferable douchebag that's hassling him for the sake of this video that he's filming. Now, it's filmed from another angle, but I can't find that full video. I can only find this one through Twitter.
We need some veggies. Get some green veggies. Yep, little bit more, little bit more.
No problem.
Little bit more.
No problem.
Straight up. Oh, they gonna have to hold me accountable.
When he was asked pretty politely to just stop putting the camera in this guy's face, not even asked to stop filming, by the way, just asked to, like, hey, maybe don't be up in this guy's nutsack with your camera, he immediately starts yelling about it. He's immediately throwing a fucking temper tantrum. Even though it was a super reasonable request, because look at how close he's getting to this guy. He is leaning over the counter to get as close as possible. It's like he's going in for a kiss, like he's trying to fucking make out with the guy here.
Nothing else?
That'll be all. And if you got problems, I'll fire your ass up. Hold me accountable.
It's fine. I just don't want to put in his face like that.
You're gonna have to hold me accountable.
Sir, this is Chipotle's. Why are you yelling and screaming? Why are you hooting and hollering here? Goodness gracious, it's like a hostage situation here. The worker did everything you ask. Leave them alone. All they requested is that you take the camera out of that guy's mouth. They didn't even ask that you stop filming, even though they should have. They should have walked over and slapped that fucking phone right out of your hands, douchebag. That's what should have happened. But it didn't. You still got to have your TikTok video, and you're still huffing and puffing about it. It's incomprehensible to me. Even when people who did this trend weren't harassing the worker making their food, I still don't like it. I think it is still dog shit. You're just being a nuisance to just average everyday people just going about their lives. They're getting paid minimum wage to make your food, and you're making it a huge headache for them by putting them on camera when I know for a fact they don't want to be. The reason you're getting more food shouldn't be some kind of mystery. The reason is because no one wants to deal with being shamed online. It's not like these people are just drones, AI that are cut off from the rest of the world. These people have access to the internet, same as you. They know what this trend is. And they know if they give you anything less than fucking colossal proportions that could feed a family of 8, then they're going to get insulted in your TikTok video. So obviously they play along with it. Like, it shouldn't be surprising that you do get more food when you film the workers here and put this big spotlight on them, because now you've turned it into a huge song and dance, and they want to do everything possible to avoid a negative situation with their life here that you have now thrust upon them for your own, TikTok or YouTube short. I think it sucks. I think it is sucked from the very beginning. I don't like that the portion sizes at Chipotle have shrunk, obviously. But what I would never do is blame the workers for it. They're not making the corporate decisions for the portion sizing or anything like that. And if you do get less than you want, you can politely ask if you can have like another scoop or something. Like, that's just normal socialization 101. You don't have to resort to the nuclear option here.
And that ain't no issue. Anybody in here can get it. Straight up. You can call the police. I ain't break no law. Wait, what? What? Why you lying like police?
This guy's fuming so hard that he immediately gave himself amnesia and forgot that he just threatened the entire restaurant. She said, all right, I'm gonna call the police because you're threatening people. He's like, you're fucking lying! Who did that? Where? When did that happen? You're telling a fib. That's a tall tale. And I don't appreciate it, Buster. Even though literally 5 seconds ago, he just threatened the entire restaurant for some reason. He's just having a full-blown voice-cracking conniption here in front of the entire Chipotle for this trend. And I still don't even know what there is to be mad about. He got big portions on his bowl. Mission accomplished. And he successfully made everyone in that restaurant's day a little bit worse. Yippee. Wahoo! That's great. So yeah, overall, I think that this filming Chipotle workers trend is garbage. I think it is just trash. I could bring up countless other examples because it's become such a viral hit here, but they're all so annoying. They're not nearly as bad as this one. This one is by far the worst I have seen so far. The only ones that I somewhat appreciate are the ones where the Chipotle worker gives them significantly less food because they're filming. I fuck with that. I think that's great. That should be the gold standard going forward here. You come in and you start filming the workers, well, I hope you enjoy 5 tiddlywinks of rice and 1 little glob of chicken. And that's it. Put a smile on your face and get the fuck out. But anyway, yeah. Don't like the trend. Hopefully the trend is over soon. That's about it. So yeah. I know this gets said all the time, but it's true, and it's sad. People will believe in anything. Today I just learned about slapping therapy, which I'd never heard of before, and you would think me, of all people, someone who has covered slapping tournaments for years, would have heard about slapping therapy, but even I couldn't imagine something so stupid. And today, a practitioner is being jailed for 10 years due to the death of a 71-year-old woman at one of his slapping therapy workshops, and it turns out he's also responsible for the death of a 6-year-old boy at one of those slapping therapy workshops. Now, when I first read the headline, I thought he was going in there and just like KOing people with slaps and trying to convince them that it was a good thing. He was healing them through slapping the soul out of their body temporarily, like in Doctor Strange when she fucking palms his whole spirit out. Like, I really thought these workshops were basically just like a fucking fight club where he was throwing frying pans at people's faces with these big meaty slaps and saying alright, all of a sudden your cold is healed. But that's not the case. It's actually far more ridiculous than that.
Catching cold. Once you catch cold, you may have different symptoms. You feel weak, you got a runny nose, easily find a big bone sticking out here. So you can just, whole area, just do the slapping here. Either with this hand or with this hand, or on both sides. Also with this, or you can do this way.
That's the entire healing method, if anything's going wrong, start slapping yourself. I'm not shitting you. That's actual baby brain stuff like, ooh, I got a tummy ache. Let me slap the tummy ache away. Oh, geez. That's the entire method. It's called Penguinz0, I think is how you say it. And this is like their preeminent expert in it who now has 2 corpses under his belt from it. Now, if you're wondering how this killed people, it's because the 71-year-old woman had attended one of his workshops, and she was a type 1 diabetic, and for years she wanted to find an alternative way of healing herself without needles. Then she eventually met Turbo Goober Zhao, and attended one of his slapping workshops where she called him a messenger sent by God, starting a revolution to put the power back in the hands of the people to cure themselves and to change the whole system of healthcare. It is frightening how people could get that impression through someone just slapping themselves and claiming that it'll cure your diseases and make you healthy. But just like V-Bucks on Christmas Day, she bought it. She was fully on board, hook, line, and sinker to the self-healing slap technique, the forbidden jutsu, and she stopped taking her insulin, instead just slapping it away, and Zhao said, well done, congratulating her on it, and eventually she started vomiting, got tired and weak, and then was howling in pain, unable to respond, and passed away. The 6-year-old boy passed away in similar fashion, where his parents stopped giving him insulin after they attended his workshops, because his workshops claimed that they would slap away the poisonous waste, which is the same nomenclature, the same verbiage you hear from all of these con artists that promote this absolute ridiculous dog shit that doesn't work. And now he's killed 2 people as a result of it. This one, I think, is one of the more baffling alternative healing methods that people buy into, because you can immediately see it doesn't work, because he's saying that it basically does everything. This is like a fucking fairy godparent that Timmy Turner would have that would make all of your wishes come true, as long as you can slap yourself for it.
I would guess 80% of the problems or the symptoms would be gone after doing those. If that is still not enough, you can do the whole chest here, like this. You can do it by yourself here. Here, see? This side, see? Here, here. Then the whole area right in the middle. If you have someone around you, you can ask them with both hands here, and also at the back. After doing what we call carpet bombing, all these areas.
This asshole watched Patrick Star ham bone in an episode of SpongeBob, and then said, I can make an entire business out of that. So now his whole thing is that you can cure anything through slapping yourself. So he calls it carpet bombing on your chest when you're slapping a cold away like this. But what's crazy is, anyone who would watch this and maybe think for even a fucking millisecond that this might work would try this when they had a cold and learn that it doesn't work. You can't fucking slap away a cold. But that's not enough proof for them. Even though it doesn't work, they still believe in it. He actually made a video addressing the death of that 6-year-old where he doesn't actually say anything. He doesn't actually address anything. He just keeps saying, it's an accident over and over. And the comment section is nothing but swallowing his meat.
Now more about the accident happened in Australia for that little boy. What I want to say is, first of all, this is an accident. When I say this is an accident, that means this has nothing to do with the workshop. It is purely an accident.
It actually has everything to do with the workshop, because he encourages everyone to just slap everything away to get that poisonous waste out of their body, all that toxic sludge that's infesting their body through some of this, some of that. And then the parents who got brainwashed into believing it took their child off insulin as a result of these workshops. Now, of course, the parents of the boy are brain-dead idiots that should never see the light of day outside of a jail cell again. They are too stupid to be reintegrated into society. But that stupidity was manipulated by this scam artist, and it led to the death of that 6-year-old. Now, the comment section here is people supporting him. And I do mean every single comment is just down here practicing their own brand of slap healing by slapping his meat into their mouth. So they're just talking about how this isn't going to stop them from spreading the gospel of Penguinz0 and changing the world one slap at a time. This guy saying this is not in any way your fault. You're actually trying to help heal people. How? By slapping them and putting them into an early grave when they inevitably get too brainwashed and take themselves off life-saving medication like insulin. Like, it's crazy to me that even when someone dies from this, and even when every single person in this comment section can confirm it doesn't work, they still latch onto it, this fucking fantasy that this is somehow the secret that's healing everyone, and they're going to be an immortal being because they slap their chest 5 times a day. Now, I do understand why people seek out alternative healing methods, because medications and normal doctor visits are unbelievably expensive. And everyone knows how corrupt the big pharma is. Everyone knows that. I get it. So I'm not confused as to why people will look for other means of helping themselves and maybe fixing whatever ailments they might suffer from. But what I don't understand is why people will choose the most blatantly fraudulent practices to believe in. There are other healing methods that do actually have some benefits, but a lot of them are trash that you can just research yourself and confirm yourself don't work. But people will still just, for some reason, become this lifelong believer in it based on nothing. I don't know how someone could sit there and watch this dumb asshole slap a guy's arm and say that it's healing him.
For 1 minute, ask me to stop, okay? One minute. Look, see? Just in 1 minute. It's like more than double the color. Let's show to the doctors, the professionals.
Wow! Just like Jesus turning water into wine, Zhao just turned skin into bruised a little bit. He basically claims that Paida Legine can solve everything. And I mean everything, even baldness.
Trying to circulate the energy inside.
But this way is okay, is it?
Yeah, this is okay.
Not so fast. Slower and
Oh,
the
slower better.
let the energy penetrate inside.
Okay, that's how I do.
Yeah, this.
Man's actually teaching the Homer Simpson dough as a real method of curing your baldness. Brother, you're still bald. You should immediately be able to sniff out that this shit is not working. How? He can look in the mirror and recognize that his slapping head baldness therapy isn't working, yet still believes in it. I know it's overused with people saying this, but it is the truth. People will believe anything. Absolutely anything. Even something as comical as slapping therapy. And this is only the tip of the iceberg. He has so many videos and so many workshops and so many seminars where it's the same thing every time. Like there was one I saw for leg pain where he was saying, well, just slap the leg. That'll free it up. Just slap it a lot. It's everything. He's actually teaching people to fucking do like a knee slap when you hear a good joke, and it's gonna fix your fucking, sore muscles. Or, well, not sore muscles. What was it? I think he was looking to cure some kind of like chronic pain. I can't remember now. But the point is, even something as over-the-top absurd as this has people believing in it and worshiping Zhao. It's actually fucking crazy. Just sitting there playing people's head like drums. And they're like, oh yeah, he's curing him. He just fucking cured him. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Extraordinary work. In fact, actually clapping is a form of slapping. So every time you clap, you're actually cleansing your body of toxins. Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that. I just figured that one out through Zhao's teachings, actually. And the most pathetic part is no one will ever be able to get through to people that have already bought into it in this way that it is fake, that it is bogus. Even the death of the 71-year-old woman and the 6-year-old boy is not enough. That will only strengthen the believer's resolve in it, saying things like, oh, they must have done something wrong with the Paida Legine teaching. Zhao would never have misled us. He's healing all of us. He's a messenger sent by God. And the fact that they're jailing him now for this only proves to us that his teachings are a threat to the established medical order. So it must be true. His slapping techniques must be true if they just threw him in jail for it. There is nothing you can do to get people out of this. It sucks, man. Like, it's actually so sad. I'll stop ranting about it now, but it's fucking crazy. That's about it. See ya. People recording the most embarrassing moments of their lives and then proudly posting it online has become an extremely common trend. I'm still not entirely sure if they do it out of pure delusion, thinking that they're in the right or it makes them look good, or if they do it knowing that they're going to be a punching bag and a spittoon for the internet to just make fun of and point and laugh at. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter. I'm just happy to be brought along for the ride. They open up the door and they say, "Climb aboard, Charles. This train's bound for Cringe Town. Take your seat." So, I get to go on these pathetic journeys with our protagonists here, and today I've got a wacky one cooked up for you that I think probably a lot of you have seen, because apparently this went pretty viral on TikTok.
Whew. Let me just get the door for you.
Okay. He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes.
Our main character is upset because her date brought her to the Cheesecake Factory, and now she's refusing to get out of the car. Kind of like a toddler that refuses to get out of the car to go to school because they just don't want to go. She's just offended that he would dare take her to the Cheesecake Factory when that's not the most glamorous spot in the world.
Would you want me to open the door for you? Look. You're recording me?
Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory.
God, this just feels so sinister. The video opens with him being pretty sweet. He's like, "Oh, would you like me to get the door for you?" You know, like quintessential Disney chivalry, basically. You know, and he goes around the side to get the door, and that's when he's ambushed with the realization, like, "Oh, you're recording me." And she's doing this all, like, very proud of herself for it, as if she's somehow, you know, winning this whole exchange like it's some kind of competition. Like, he brought me to the Cheesecake Factory, so I'm gonna film and shame him for this in front of my whole audience. It's what he deserved. He commits the crime of taking me to the Cheesecake Factory, an unforgivable sin, because she believes it's beneath her. She's entitled to the highest end restaurant Bikini Bottom has to offer here. Not the Krusty Krab, not the Chum Bucket, but that one restaurant that takes place in the giant pirate ship. I forgot the name of it. And now that she's not there, she's having a tantrum and trying to put this guy on blast in front of her audience for it.
This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
I really just don't even understand what the problem is in the first place. At risk of sounding like an out-of-touch fool, what the fuck is wrong with the Cheesecake Factory? I know it's become like a little bit of a meme over the last year or so, but it's not some like dilapidated, rinky-dink stink establishment that just serves toxic sludge and shoelaces like some kind of barren wasteland of bad food service or anything. It's a fine restaurant. It's a fine chain. I've never had like a negative experience there or anything. It's also not super cheap, so it's not like he's, you know, taking her to the worst place he could possibly find via Yelp reviews or anything. Like, I've always enjoyed the Cheesecake Factory. You're not gonna go there and find glory holes in the bathroom stalls or anything. It's a decent spot. So, I mean, if this dude was trying to wine and dine me at the Cheesecake Factory, I might end up strangling his cock with my bussy. I would be appreciative. Like, it's not a bad restaurant. And at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter what restaurant or whatever the date takes place in, because you're not really going for the establishment itself. You're going for the company of the other person to get to know them and see if you're compatible or see if you can have fun together. At least that's how I envision dating should be. I don't think you're usually going there to just try and get like a good meal out of it. It's usually to try and experience something with somebody else and see how things go, if you hit it off or not.
When you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her, because I get courted. So you're courting her, right? You're supposed to take care of her. You're supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I agree. I
At the
went
Cheesecake
into this
Factory?
date as I expected.
While I appreciate the free tutorial on dating that she offers, I have to say, this lecture feels like some kind of monologue out of the climax of a romance anime. You're supposed to cherish, cover, protect her, keep her safe, wish her well. You're not going to the front lines of a fucking war zone. You're going to dinner. Like, what do you mean with all of this? It's not like he put you in harm's way. It's not like he, like, sat you down on landmines or something and played a game of chicken. Like, he says, you're just going to dinner, and he's done nothing wrong. You know, she's acting like she's the ADC in League of Legends and he's her support.
With the expectations for myself to keep you safe, you know, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course, and just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done.
I mean, you've been pretty nice, but I mean,
and then
Cheesecake Factory.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date. I expect her to be respectful too.
That's totally reasonable. Expecting your date to be respectful. I think that's perfectly acceptable. This was extremely disrespectful from her. Not only to refuse to get out of the car because she didn't want to go to the Cheesecake Factory, but then to film this entire exchange blows my mind. How she couldn't process how bad she looks and how much she looks like an asshole here is beyond my comprehension. And I really think it just speaks to this main character syndrome that half of society is deluded with right now, where they're never in the wrong. It's all the props around them that are wrong. Now, there is another thing I want to mention. She doesn't have to go to the Cheesecake Factory just because her date brought her there. Like, let's say she treats the Cheesecake Factory like I do with Burger King. Hell on earth. You know, it's the worst place in the world. Maybe she hates the Cheesecake Factory as much as I hate James Corden, and she just really doesn't want to go. You can still handle this in a really appropriate adult manner by just simply saying something like, hey, look, I just don't like the Cheesecake Factory. I've never really enjoyed it. Is there any other restaurants we can go to tonight and that isn't here? And if not, maybe we can just reschedule and do something else some other time if that's okay. Like, you can still be super polite about it and have it be like a conversation with the other person as opposed to just whipping out your phone to try and dogpile and shame this person because they took you to a restaurant that you think is beneath you.
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman.
But
I got myself all made
nothing
up.
wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well, look at my planner where we were gonna go originally.
I actually really wish she had dove into like all the problems with the Cheesecake Factory and just gave me her scathing review, because I'm trying to figure out what all she could hate so much about the place. But anyway, I skipped around a little bit here, but I'll fill in the blanks. The guy in the video is clearly starting to get very nervous because now not only is his date being directly disrespectful to him, but now he also has to talk to her audience. So he's like basically on trial right now, getting interrogated and getting pressed because he dared take his date to the Cheesecake Factory.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right there. Call him.
No.
What do you mean no?
See,
I mean,
I'm waiting for a reservation.
we can still get to know each other. Isn't there another restaurant you can call that, like, you know, the equivalent to that? I mean,
I literally
you don't
just said-
understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
There's nothing wrong with
I will die.
Oh my god, her attitude is so infuriating. It's like someone wrote her as a character in a show that everyone is supposed to dislike. It's amazing that this is a real exchange. Now, again, I've cut quite a bit out here because it becomes mainly like a debate. Like, she's treating dating like it's a battle. So he tries to explain, like, look, things haven't been great for me in our experiences so far either. You were like over an hour late, you know, previously, and then you didn't want to like hold my arm or anything like that, didn't invite me in, so I was just getting the signals that maybe we're not at this point where we should be going to these super expensive restaurants together. We should get to know each other a little bit, you know, slower at places like the Cheesecake Factory, which I think is a fine thought process there. Like, okay, so we're not at the point where we're close enough or really getting to know each other enough that we should be going to these like really wild places. Let's start small. That's something more like the Cheesecake Factory. I think that makes a ton of sense. And here he says, like, look, this is where I think we could go at some point, or could have gone. And she's like, nope, that's where we should have gone tonight. Call them now. And he's just like, no, I'm not doing that. So then she's saying, just call something else that's equivalently fancy. He's like, no, I'm not doing that either. Like, I can't believe that she still thinks this is a salvageable situation. This is completely ruined. This is kaput. You are not going to get dinner together tonight after this. You shouldn't be going to get dinner together after this. You have refused to get out of his car. You have decided to publicly try and humiliate him for something he didn't even really do wrong in the first place. Why the fuck would he then go out of his way to go to like another wildly over-the-top restaurant or something like that? It's pure delusion.
So, respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah. I'm up.
So, you just want to call it a night? I mean,
Yeah.
Isn't there some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
I was actually shocked that he still drove her home and offered to take her and drop her off. I imagine a lot of people in this situation would have told her just, get out and take an Uber home or something. So I do think this was a big W move from the guy here. He felt very disrespected because he obviously was. And he said, look, this is where the evening concludes. I'm just going to take you home. And somehow she has the gall to be surprised. Like, I don't understand how she would be shocked that he's just taking her back. You've insulted him, and you have publicly tried to shame him. Why in the fuck would he still try and, compromise to find, a dinner for you two that evening? So, that's kind of where the whole thing stops. I just don't understand why she would ever do this in the first place, and not only do this, but then post it. It's so wild to me. It's such a fascinating concept, because this is a truly embarrassing moment. You have filmed one of the worst dates I have ever seen. Well, I'm sure there's worse dates, but one of the cringiest dates I've ever seen because of you, and you're the one that posted it. I don't know, it's fucking awful. That's really about it. I just had to talk about it a little bit. That's it. See ya. Another day, another pathetic YouTube prankster making the world a worse place. Desperate for clout, a new ghoul has taken a bite of the forbidden fruit known as trash pranks. They wanted attention from the internet, but in fact, all they got was attention from authorities since they were arrested because they did something truly foul. A 22-year-old man from Belgium aspired to be the next great YouTuber and hatched this idea where he would dump a bucket of shit and other fluids onto train riders for his YouTube channel. According to the prosecutor's office, he would fill buckets with diverse substances like paint, excrement, and food, and then throw them at passengers, basically just making stink bombs. Obviously, the motivation here was to become a social media sensation, a superstar. This was his ticket to the big time. He wanted to create a career out of this shit, put his name up in lights, but instead all he got was his name on a rap sheet here. I also appreciate that most of the sources reporting on this story aren't using this guy's actual name or even his online handle for the most part, which I think is great because clearly it's all for attention, and if nobody knows who this is, the only attention he gets is from his fucking parole officer. That's the only person that knows his name now. So let's go ahead and show you the video. I have to mute the audio because of the music, but here's our protagonist. He's out collecting his ingredients and he's making a strength potion in that bucket, old school RuneScape style. He then gets his secret ingredient to the Krabby Patty formula here, dog shit, pours it in the bucket, and then gets a bunch of leaves, puts those in there as well, and mixes it all around, and he's ready to begin his adventure. He's currently being charged with assault and battery, damage to property using violence, and property damage for this stunt here. And I hope the cameraman also faces some charges too for enabling this, filming it, and just being an accomplice to this degeneracy. This loser immediately ran away from the scene of the crime, knowing full well every single person on that train could have absolutely beat his ass. He just sucks. This guy super sucks. I wish he had done us all a favor, and after mixing the dog shit into that bucket, he just drank it. It'd be an infinitely better outcome if he was just doing this garbage to himself, as opposed to just randomly assaulting strangers on a train to try and get clicks to his dead YouTube channel to try and find meaning for the life that he's lived that has amounted to absolutely nothing besides being reduced to a public nuisance. It's so frustrating just how common this trend is, where people will just do extreme things at the expense of others to try and get any level of attention. Even though it's overwhelmingly negative, to them it doesn't matter because views are views, and they hope that some of them will stick around just to hate on them, or maybe a couple of them are equally as brain rotted as they are and actually enjoy it. And it's just become this fast track to at least getting some type of eyes on you, which has made it extremely appealing for young people to try. We've reached that age online where so many people have grown up their entire lives with access to the internet, so they've seen a lot of creators do similar things and get a full career out of it. And that makes it very enticing for them, so they also want to try, because clout is a disease more addicting than heroin, and everyone wants a piece of it, so they see that pranks always garner some type of headline and people talk about it, or playing the villain online gets some people to find you. And in the modern day and age, the worst thing you can be is invisible. Or rather, the worst thing that can happen to you is being normal. Like, if you don't have a social media presence, if you're not constantly on the grind to try and be a social media influencer, then you're worthless in some people's eyes. It really feels like for younger people, follower count is directly correlated to their value as a person. So they're constantly striving for ways to get that number up. And a lot of that falls onto pranks. Every single day, there's a new hopeful prankster that does some extreme shit to try and get some clicks, and this is just the most recent example of it. It's so exhausting and frustrating. It's just so fucking sad. This guy 100% deserves to be arrested. I hope he faces some kind of serious charges for this. We finally need to just start really bringing the hammer down on disruptive, dangerous pranks like these. This is something that guy could have absolutely gotten, like, sick from. Like, it's an assault with, like, a fucking bioweapon here of dog shit and all kinds of other things in it. Like, you can't keep taking these things lightly just because they're portrayed as, like, pranks for views. It's fucking degenerate, and it's gone on too long now. For example, we had that guy in the UK who for months was just terrorizing people, like going into their homes, like the break-in and entering prank, shit like that, and no real serious charges were ever brought up, so it just continued to persist for too long. But anyway, wanted to talk about this douchebag a little bit here, because I'll take any and every opportunity to put my shit in a bucket and throw it at an awful prankster like this. That's about it. See ya. I recognize this isn't a new phenomenon with grown adults stealing items from children at sporting events, but I would make the argument that it's becoming more and more common now. Maybe all those 5G towers really did take a toll on some people's brains here, because it is crazy how often I am seeing footage of these grown-ass adults just stealing candy from babies, like literally at these sporting events. I just learned about another one from last week at a Chiefs game where Patrick Mahomes was giving his headband to a 10-year-old who was actually there celebrating his birthday, apparently. And as Patrick Mahomes is giving the headband to the kid, this woman comes over, snatches it out of his hands, and then runs away, gets called out on it, and then makes the dumbest fucking TikTok video about it I've ever seen. But first, let me show you the evidence here that she stole it. I think that's pretty obvious. There's other angles that show it even more clearly. I don't think it's necessary. I think that's pretty cut and dry there. But she then made a TikTok video after people were giving her shit for it.
To make something straight, I did not steal a headband from a little kid.
Yes, an excellent job cropping this photo to try and prove your innocence here. This would fool even the most seasoned of forensic experts, I would say. Irrefutable proof that she was the intended target, which you can tell because she's nowhere to be seen. In her own fucking, in her own evidence here, you can see that she is reaching out in front of the child to take it from him. Like, come on, this is unreal. Also, she was dressed in Giants accoutrements. She was a Giants fan. I don't think Patrick Mahomes was intending to give you the headband. He didn't even register your presence there. This is so ridiculous. Oh my god, my voice is cracking. It's so absurd.
I just need to explain myself because everyone's having heart failure over this. You just need to understand, I'm at a football game. Last 2 minutes of the game, I allowed many people to come and sit down next to me or stand up or whatever you want to say. But I paid for my damn tickets. I paid. Well, Michael paid. All the same money. We paid for our tickets. It was 2 rows back. I went all the way in the front. People were coming from all over, probably the nosebleeds.
This is a masterclass in how to become even more unlikable in a situation I thought it was impossible to be more hated. People already don't like her because she clearly steals from a child, and now in her response she gives people even more things to dislike her for. She's talking about how she allowed people into her area after she paid for those tickets to be there. Well, Michael paid, but it's her money too, obviously. In fact, it's mostly her money, really, I would argue. Lady, the game is over. That is now moot. You can go wherever you want in that area. You don't own it. But she's talking about it as if it's her fucking stadium. And being the benevolent saint she is, the angel, she allowed them with her grace to be in this vicinity with her. That's crazy. That is actually crazy, the delusion. And she even says she was 2 rows back, so she also went up. But then she's like, talking about how, like, these people came from everywhere. Probably the fucking nosebleeds or something. Those plebeians, these heathens, invaded my space.
I don't know if that kid was from the nosebleeds. I don't know if those were his seats or whatever. But people were saying, could we come and sit over there, stand over there? And I was saying, yeah, sure, whatever. Last 2 minutes of the game, they were all KC fans because the Giants lost, so all the Giants fans left. But I wanted to stay there and see if anyone's going to come down. Michael stood 2 rows behind me. Couldn't have even seen me because so many people were around standing up.
Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter here in what happened. The game was over. You can now move around freely. If you were letting people in around you, that's so nice. What a superstar you are. Oh my goodness, that's the sweetest thing I've ever heard. But it also has nothing to do with you stealing the headband intended for a 10-year-old.
At the ending of the game, the KC players was coming. Not gonna lie, what's his face? McDuff, I think his name is, came right to me to give me his gloves. But I was looking behind him and was looking at Mahomes, and I was screaming, Mahomes, Mahomes. He got mad. He like sort of got upset. Looked at me and said, I'm not Mahomes. So he gave the gloves to the next door little girl next to me. She started crying. I felt bad for her and I was rubbing her back. I said, are you okay? Don't worry about it, baby girl. They're just people. Don't cry.
I don't even know what that means. What kind of yappuccino are you serving up here? What the fuck? Jiminy Christmas? What? What the hell is even that? What are you even... Huh? What are you blabbering about? So, the pieces to this puzzle I don't think are going to fit together. Like, following the breadcrumbs that she's sprinkling out here, she's farting out a poop that I just don't understand. So she's saying she was screaming, Mahomes, Mahomes. Turns out it wasn't Mahomes, it was McDuff. I think she means McDuffie, would be my guess. She can't even bother to get the player's name right. Also, side note, she's a Giants fan. Why does she even want Chiefs gear? I imagine she just wants to resell it. That'd be my hunch. But anyway, so apparently McDuffie got upset, like, I'm not Mahomes, and then gave his gloves to a little girl next to her who started crying. So then she started to console the little girl, reassuring her that it's okay. They're just people. Yes, of course. Now it's all starting to make sense. A confounding mystery, but it's becoming more and more clear. It's coming into focus now that I say it out loud. This must be how it feels to, like, do whippets. Like, listening to her speak actually makes me stupider.
I am not a thief. That little boy, when Mahomes came, if you look at the video, both of our hands was on it. He was right to the left of me. I didn't look in Mahomes' eyes to see where is he looking. I just seen he's handing out something. I put my hand, both of our hands was on it. I took it.
Yeah, but you definitely knew. The kid even said the lady just stole that from me. Like, you definitely did know. You reached out to put your hand on it. he didn't just like set it in both of your hands and say like, good luck. It wasn't like the Dark Knight with the Joker doing an initiation. Like, he was clearly giving it to the kid. You reached out to grab it and put your hands on it and then take it from the kid. Like, that is clear in the video that you keep urging people to watch.
If he was 20 years old, would it have mattered? If he was a 20-year-old man and both of our hands was on it, and if he would have took it away from me, would have been like, oh, you should have gave it to the woman. So if it was a guy and I'm a girl, then he should have gave it to the girl. But because he's a 10-year-old little boy or 8-year-old or whatever how old he is, I should have gave it to him. But I didn't even know.
Good news, I just went and bludgeoned myself with a sledgehammer and I understand her perfectly now. This is a bulletproof defense. She's got us all in a checkmate. So, I think what she's trying to say here, very convoluted, is that if it was a 20-year-old man that she stole it from, would people still be upset? And the answer is, people would still think you're an asshole. And then she flips it saying, what if a guy took it from me? Would anyone care? And in that case, yeah, people would think he's an asshole. Like, stealing an item that was intended for somebody else and everyone sees it, they're going to think the person who stole it is an asshole. The fact you steal it from a child does make it significantly worse. 100%, yeah. This isn't the gotcha you think it is.
Why didn't they stop me and say, hey, yo, bitch, give it to my son or my brother? But no one didn't say nothing to me. I turned around, I walked away. I seen Mahomes. That's who I wanted to see. Why no one didn't say anything to me? But now you are posting it 1 week later?
It's your fault. I stole it and nobody stopped me. Thus, you have only yourself to blame. She's now trying this angle. Also, people did mention it, by the way. The kid even called it out that she stole it from him. And I'm pretty sure in one of the other videos I saw, someone else also mentioned it. She just ignored it and walked away. So, like, they did. But now she's, like, trying to say that, you know, the father or whatever should have reached out privately to tell her that it was intended for his son or whatever. So it's his fault.
Mahomes tried to give it to my son or my brother or whoever the hell he is to you. Look at this video. Look at, you put your hands on top of my son's hands and then you took it. You're older, you're stronger. You could have grabbed it more than he could have. Maybe I would have felt bad.
She literally talks like a 10-year-old. She sounds like a toddler. All you had to do was DM me and say that you put your hands on top of my son's hands and you're older, which means you're stronger, so you could have grabbed it more than he have. Holy shit. This is a grown woman, by the way. I don't know Michael, but listening to her speak, I feel bad for Michael. A conversation with her must be miserable. Dude probably has to leave milk and cookies out every year at Christmas. She probably still fucking stuck thinking Santa Claus is coming through.
But now you're trying to embarrass me. I don't think so. It is what it is. Make your son a tough man, because we're trying to make everyone a little too weak in this world today in 2025.
Oh, when that line hit when I first watched this, I knew it was something special I was bearing witness to. So now she's saying the 10-year-old is too weak. I guess she was expecting the 10-year-old to just like fucking judo chop her or like throw her over his shoulder or something and body slam her. And because that didn't happen, now she's saying that the 10-year-old is too weak and that the father's like failed because raising a weak kid because a grown woman stole from him out of nowhere. What a great lesson. Yeah, you're raising a weak kid because he didn't attack a grown woman at a football stadium. Right. This is unreal. It's fucking unhinged.
It is what it is. You don't get everything you life happens. Do you know how many times I took my sons to baseball games when they were young? They would have catched the ball and then men would have came and took it out of their hands.
Well, I don't know, crazy lady. It almost sounds to me like you're raising some weak sons. You're telling me that at the ball game someone came and took the ball out of their hand and they didn't beat their ass? Based on what you just said here about that 10-year-old, almost sounds like to me you got yourself a little bit of weakness in your own household, huh, now, doesn't it? Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I'll drop the sarcasm for a moment. I actually feel really bad for the kids. having their mom go on TikTok and just make a complete fucking fool of herself. Like, she tries to claim that everyone's trying to embarrass her, but it is her. It is her embarrassing herself. That's gotta be awful. That has really gotta be bad. And I really do feel awful for them.
Guys, I just want to talk to you guys for 1 minute from my heart. At the game, with all the noise and all the excitement, I honestly thought that Pat Mahomes was giving me the headline. I reached for it without thinking. Later, I found out that it was meant for that little boy for his 10-year-old birthday. When I found out, I felt horrible because I don't want to ruin anyone's little time at the game and ruin their little birthday. To the young boy, I'm sorry that I ruined your moment. You should have had your moment for your birthday.
She takes her foot off the gas in a follow-up video where she releases this apology here. Very different tune she's singing this time around. I guess the first one didn't really go over the way she had hoped it did. Well, her excuses don't really work anymore, though, because she already made it clear in her last one that she didn't feel horrible at all, even calling the kid weak. So this kind of falls flat on its fucking face here. And she also can no longer make the claim about being confused, which would have been like a legitimate thing, because there is the potential that she was confused and thought maybe it was intended for her. But she already made it clear that was not the case in the last video. So yeah, while it's a valiant attempt at trying to seem more sympathetic this time around, like, oh, this is a sincere apology, you should have had your special birthday, and I'm sorry, it was such a mix-up, a very unfortunate set of circumstances. It doesn't work anymore.
Got an update on Joey. I want you guys to watch this.
They signed it. They signed it.
No, he didn't.
They signed it.
Oh my God. What's in there?
Oh. The real deal.
I just wanted to tell you that I meant no harm done, but it all worked out in the best, and you got so much more. You got an autographed jersey.
And this is her latest video on it. So the Chiefs sent Joey a lot of gear that is signed, a lot of autographed gear, and she's talking about how happy she is that he got all of that. Yep. And that's that. Anyway, I just wanted to yap about this a bit. It had me laughing really hard watching her first response video. That's really about it. So yeah. Another day, another whiny, entitled loser having a meltdown and freak out in a fast food drive-thru. This time, the temper tantrum is caused because he was declined a pup cup.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, please.
I'm doing a video.
I'm gonna need you to leave, sir.
Why was the reasoning why you won't give me a pup cup?
We're not allowed to do pup cups.
Yes, you are. I come here 2-3 times a week, every week, and get a pup cup.
As a dog owner myself, I am very familiar with this item. It's super simple. It's just a cup of whipped cream. It's not winning any Michelin stars, but it's just a nice little treat for your dogs if you're going to a couple of fast food places that offer it. I think the main one is Starbucks. But I didn't even know it was super common outside of that. So it's not surprising that they're saying, no, you can't get a pup cup here. And also, 2 to 3 of those a week? That's excessive. At that point, just get your own can of whipped cream. What the fuck?
Every time I come here.
We're not supposed to do pup cups. If they're doing it, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Do you not understand? It's just a little cup of whipped cream.
So I need you to leave, please.
Why won't you give me a pup cup?
Because we do not do pup cups at this establishment.
Bullshit. Came here yesterday and got a pup cup.
Somebody hand me the phone, please. Call the police.
She's calling the police because I want a pup cup?
She's calling the police because you're an annoying pest that refuses to leave, even though she's told you multiple times they don't do pup cups. Now, if you've received some of those sacred treasures here, that wonderful cuisine in the past, it means you got lucky, and the workers probably just didn't want to deal with you because you're a headache and decided to just oblige and give you those pup cups, but it's not something this establishment normally does, and she's telling you that. You're also making a problem for the workers that were nice enough to you to give you those pup cups by snitching on them here. Just accept the no, take the L, and move on. Go to a different place that offers it, or better yet, go to Publix or your local grocer, get a can of whipped cream, and then give your dog your own personal pup cup. She has done nothing wrong, she's not being mean, she told you no, which she has every right to do. And for some reason, you're making this a huge song and dance, and for some reason, so many people have these brain worms in society today, like these parasites that infest their mind that think that they're always in the right. So he starts filming this interaction himself. What should be a shameful moment for him that should keep him awake for weeks to come is something that he is proudly posting online himself. It's embarrassing. It's super fucking embarrassing. You're delusional. You're not in the right. No one's on your side. Just leave. They don't do pup cups. And stop saying that word. It grinds my ass. It chafes my fucking butt. How many times he says the word pup cup throughout this video? He spams that word more often than a Rocket League player spams what a save. It drove me nuts. It was so fucking grating.
Let's see what the police have to say because a person wants a pup cup? Seriously, you're calling the police because someone wants a pup cup. That's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely ridiculous. Cassopolis, Michigan.
I'm not entirely sure who shouted for being an idiot. My guess is it's one of the customers behind him since he's clearly congesting the drive-thru here and putting it to an absolute halt, grinding it to a standstill. So I'm guessing they were getting mad and started shouting at him, just throwing tomatoes at this clown here. Just boo, boo, you stink, please stop, you're being an idiot. That's my guess. But it also could have been one of the workers from inside saying that, because he's now making everyone's day much more miserable there. He just doesn't seem to grasp that it has nothing to do with the pup cup, it has to do with his refusal to leave after being told no.
No. That's absolutely ridiculous. All you have to do is put some goddamn whipped cream in a cup, and so that my dog can have a pup cup. And I was paying for it. I asked to pay for it.
So fucking what? They still said no. It doesn't matter how easy it is, they don't do that here. Your dog's not gonna die from lack of pup cup. It's not like that's the only sustenance keeping it alive. It's not just going to fucking explode if it doesn't get like the sugar from the whipped cream. It'll be fine. Go make your own pup cup at home and get the fuck out of the drive-thru and stop making everyone's day more miserable and worse by your presence. You absolute worm.
You McDonald's people need to start, like, come on now. It's a freaking pup cup. Arrogant McDonald's manager right there. Right there. Cassopolis, Michigan. I'm going to corporate with this. McDonald's doesn't support dogs, but you want me to round up to support the freaking kids every time I come here?
What the hell is even that? What are you saying? This man's gone loopy from how upset he is at getting told no. He's just not making any sense. It's just a bunch of mumbo-jumbo gobbledygook here. No, this isn't even a coherent rant anymore that he's yelling about. Just flapping his gums over nothing. What do you mean you're going to send this to corporate? What do you think they're going to do about it? What do you think their response is going to be? Excuse me, McDonald's CEO, Ronald, sir. Look at what just came across my desk. Take a peek here. It seems one of our restaurants in Cassopolis, Michigan did not serve a customer a pup cup despite being asked to. Shut it down. Get the Hamburglar on the line right now. We gotta take that establishment offline ASAP, track down the customer, and give him a lifetime supply of pup cups ASAP to make this right. Like, this isn't even something they offer. What is corporate gonna do, you fucking goofball?
It's a little bit of whipped cream in a cup, and I'm paying for it. It's a pup cup. Quit being so stubborn. Just give me a freaking pup cup. This could all be averted with a little bit of whipped cream in a cup for my dog.
Why don't you stop being so stubborn? This could all be averted if you weren't just such a whiny little baby man. Just take the no and leave. Scram! Get out of town. Oh my goodness.
This is why America's going to people like you. We don't do pup cups. I come here 2-3 times a week and get a pup cup. Tell me I can't get a pup cup.
Ah, yes. This is what's wrong with America. This is the reason why America's going to shit. They'll no longer serve a good red-blooded American patriot like this man a pup cup that he was trying to pay for. What happened to us? We used to be a proper country.
Wait till you lose your job when I send this to corporate. I'm waiting until the police get here. Not much, man. It really didn't need to escalate like this, but
You're right, it definitely did not need to escalate like this. But you're a little bitch who couldn't just take no for an answer. So it did escalate like this. And what do you mean, wait till they lose their job? They've done nothing wrong. They've done absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever. No one's losing their job here.
And she's sitting there making a big deal saying, we don't do pup cups. You need to leave. I want you to leave. I'm like, hold on. I'm going to pull up my phone. I'm like, you guys are really refusing to give me a pup cup for 35 cents that, you know, it shouldn't be asking. And she's like, I'm calling the cops if you don't leave. I said, go ahead and call the cops because I want to document this because they're calling the cops on a customer, a paying customer that comes here regularly.
You're not entitled to a goddamn pup cup, and also you're boring the officer to death by taking him on a trip to Yappersville because you won't shut the fuck up about this. You're not in the right here, and the officer is not on your side. And in fact, it ends with him getting trespassed and banned for this. Like, I don't know what outcome you could have possibly expected here.
We're just out here to keep the peace.
That's what I want.
You said you were screaming at him and yelling at him and videotaping and...
I wasn't screaming or yelling. Arrogant McDonald's manager right there. Just give me a freaking pup cup.
He tries to claim he wasn't yelling at them, and then whoever uploaded this video, I found it through Reddit, I don't think this is the original upload, whoever uploaded this easily showcased multiple instances of him yelling. Plus, he filmed all of this himself. He can easily just be disproven with his own video that he has. It's ridiculous to try and claim that he wasn't yelling.
Good with you? He's good with me. Okay, man, you're banned. Find another place.
That's cool.
I don't know if
I won't come back here.
I'd appreciate that.
I don't want to.
Now he'll go terrorize another McDonald's by demanding a pup cup, and the cycle will continue. Just making a huge commotion because he refuses to take no for an answer and also refuses to just get his own can of whipped cream. You don't need to be getting pup cups 2 to 3 times a week for your dog. That's way too much, I would say. But anyway, just wanted to talk about this a little bit because, once again, another example of someone filming their own most embarrassing moment, and all the time it seems to happen at fast food establishments where people are delusional enough to think they're in the right despite throwing a temper tantrum over nothing. Just this entitlement plague that's sweeping the nation, I guess. That's really about it. So yeah.
My husband and I have removed the bottoms of all of our shoes.
Has the world gone mad? Jumpin' Jehooshaphats, cutting the bottoms of your shoes off so you can walk around in the city streets barefoot and into businesses barefoot is absolute insanity. But that's TikTok for you, baby.
We decided to start walking barefoot, and one of our followers had a great idea. Since some businesses don't want us being completely barefoot, if we cut off the bottom of our shoes, it'll allow us to be barefoot but blend in with everyone else.
It's the perfect plan, the masters of disguise. Hats off to that follower there, shoes off to that follower there, who suggested this fucking stinker of an idea. The barefoot Batman giving them a symbol of hope here. Why not just cut the bottoms of your shoes off so you can walk around barefoot all the time? I bet they said it as a joke because it's the most outlandish suggestion they could think of, and these goobers bought into it hook, line, and sinker. No one will ever know that you're actually barefoot underneath the skeleton of your shoes, so put that in your pipe and smoke it, big business. Also, it's really comical to me that the husband is wearing socks in the house. So they walk around the city streets barefoot, but draw the line at walking around their own home barefoot. What, is your house dirtier than the fucking city streets? You don't trust your own house floors, but you trust the city streets that are covered in poop and all kinds of other bodily fluids and chemicals and yuckiness? But you get the heebie-jeebies thinking about walking around your own home barefoot. Ooh, I would never walk around here without protection on. I'm double layering my socks today, actually. Do you not clean your own floors or something? It makes no sense to me. That's so weird that they'll wear socks in their house, but not in public. They're just full-blown barefoot, letting it be raw.
This is a huge commitment, but we were willing to make it. These are our favorite shoes. Our shoe collection is worth more than $20,000. But this is a sacrifice we're willing to take because walking barefoot means the world to us.
Rest in peace, 20,000 bones. That's a lot of money to just flush down the shitter just to be able to secretly walk around barefoot. Far be it for me to question what people are passionate about, but why this? You know, I'm a bit of a daredevil myself, a bit of a rebel. I like to walk around barefoot in the comfort of my own fucking home, where it makes sense to get my little hobbit stompers out and just roam around here. Why sacrifice 20 grand just to do it in secrecy? Like, you can't just wear shoes for a little bit. You have to be barefoot all the time. It's almost like a fetish at that point, it feels like. They can't help themselves. It's so weird to me because it's a dangerous thing to do. I remember back in college when my campus would do like shoe drives where we donate shoes. My roommates and I did it once, and we walked back barefoot, and my buddy cut his foot on a piece of broken glass and just gashed that shit open. Now, amplify that danger times 20x because you're just walking around the city streets barefoot. It just doesn't make sense. Plus, you're risking, of course, like disease, infection, and shit. Like, probably get like fucking hookworm and COVID, and those two mash together and form like COVID turbo strain or some shit. I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't compute. You can't just wear shoes for a little while. You have to just ruin 20 grand worth of shoes to be barefoot secretly because businesses don't want you barefoot inside there, which is a totally reasonable thing to not want because it's gross.
The benefits of walking barefoot are priceless, so now our shoes are worth more than money could ever be. So today we got to work and started removing the bottoms.
The benefits of walking around barefoot, huh? That had me scratching at my chinny chin chin, so I did a little research. There are some stated benefits of walking around barefoot on grass, in nature, where again, that makes sense. Not dirty ass city streets that are covered in poop and in fucking grime and grease and filth. Or on like the floors of businesses, which again are gonna be covered in all kinds of shit. The benefits of walking around barefoot are minimal at best, but there are some, and it's all in nature. Like in the forest, on the beach, like literally anywhere besides just contaminated city streets. This is just vile and disgusting. I bet if you brought out a Geiger counter and held it to this couple, that shit would blast off the charts. They're gonna need Radaway or something after a single trip to the grocery store while barefoot in these incognito boots.
We weren't sure if this was going to be easy or hard, and it ended up being pretty easy. We made little shelves where our toes are and our heels are. We made a little lip on the bottom of the shoe where our toenails will go so they can latch on, so we'll actually be able to hold on to the shoe while trying to walk without the bottom. And we did the same thing for our heels. The experience of cutting off the bottoms of our shoes was very freeing and detoxifying, just like walking barefoot is.
The word detoxify has completely lost all meaning. It's just a useless buzzword now. It's truly baffling how far we've fallen, but that's the beauty of brain rot. Yes, I start every morning with a dirt and urine smoothie while walking around barefoot to improve my connection to the earth and realign my chakras to detoxify my body. Absolute lunacy. You're not detoxifying anything by walking around dirty-ass city streets barefoot. You are actively toxifying yourself. If anything, there's all kinds of sewage and shit that spills onto the pavement that you're now just barefoot raw dogging. And even outside of that, you could step on like a small piece of metal or something, give yourself tetanus. Like, there's so much risk associated with this and no benefit whatsoever. What do you get? The ability to wiggle your toes a little bit in the open air on the pavement? Yippee! It's just so stupid, and they're trying to preach about it like it's a good thing, and this is supposed to be a tutorial for other barefoot enthusiasts. So that way you can go incognito while barefoot in businesses and on the city streets. Who would want that? Why?
So after we cut the bottoms off, we decided to try it out. So we went to our favorite store, Sephora, and as you know, they don't really like us in here without shoes. I needed to grab a few things for a trip we're going on. The experience was absolutely perfect.
I love the dichotomy between we walk around barefoot because it's good to detoxify and it's freeing and whatever, and then going right into Sephora, which has more chemicals than the goddamn plant Homer Simpson works at. Of course, I have no problem with Sephora whatsoever, but I just really would have thought a couple like this that's so desperate to be barefoot that they'll destroy a $20,000 shoe collection just to cut out the soles so they can be barefoot on the grossest surfaces possible would be really apprehensive about going to a store like Sephora, which has like a lot of really unnatural ingredients in a lot of their products. So it's just weird to me. And it starts to make me wonder if this is all just performative. Like, I feel as though there's a chance they don't actually walk around barefoot ever, and this was just for the sake of being quirky and unique on TikTok. And that's also helped by the fact that the dude was wearing socks in his house. If they really loved their bare tootsies out all the time, I bet he probably wouldn't even fucking own socks, let alone wear them in his own house. So I'm starting to think that they're just lying here and this is all just fake, but I'm not entirely sure. Either way, though, it's fucking gross.
The workers came up to us, they talked to us, they even complimented our shoes. I definitely recommend this if you're trying to go incognito barefoot. It's the perfect way to get all the benefits of going barefoot, but also have no one know.
It's also the perfect way to contract the disease if you're looking for a speedrun percentage, because I'm guaranteeing you're going to pick something up along the way here for this journey. What a great tutorial and what a wonderful lesson. I also love how effective this is. Just look at how top secret this is. As her entire foot pokes out the side of this destroyed shoe casing. the corpse of that shoe is just hanging on by a thread here as her whole foot is exposed. I'm sure nobody knew. I'm sure they were completely in the dark. Of course, the workers, I would imagine, probably saw this, especially because the sound their feet would be making, slapping against the floor. Like, that's not the sound shoes make. I have no doubt they knew, but they probably just didn't want to deal with the headache of confronting people like this about it. Like, hey, excuse me, why are your dogs out underneath these shoes? We really would prefer if you came back later with shoes on. Can you please leave the store? They probably just didn't want to get into any kind of argument with people like this, so they just let it slide and were praying that they'd be in and out quickly for their stupid TikTok video. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because it was a wacky little thing that popped off on Twitter today. That's about it. So yeah. There's a story I've referenced a handful of times over the years because of how bizarre it is. It's from 2010 when a Counter-Strike gamer got knifed in the cyberspace and got so upset that he spent 6 months, or a little over 6 months, tracking down the perpetrator who dared knife him in the game, to stab him in real life to murder him for it. His name is Julian Barreau, and he was dog shit at Counter-Strike, got knifed, got mad, and then dedicated over half a year to finding the person who steamed his cheeks in order to ambush them with a knife attack. So he found his rival, who then opened the door to greet him, and was immediately met with a knife being plunged into their chest, narrowly missing their heart. And for this attempted murder, Julian received 2 years in jail and anger management courses. I think he got off easy. This is a fucking menace, and the judge even used that exact word, calling him a menace to society. But he served the 2 years, and now Julian's probably out there still getting farmed in whatever game he chooses to play. The reason I mention this story is because we just recently, 3 days ago, had a very similar thing happen in a dead MMO called ArcAge. And I do mean dead MMO, it actually just shut down yesterday. So the last hoorah from one of its few active players, of all 9 people that were still left in the ArcAge Thunderdome, one of them decided to track down their rival and attack and try and kill them with a hammer. Weirdo thought that he was Nobara out of Jujutsu Kaisen, I guess, but the only curse technique he could muster was the go straight to jail technique. Luckily, the victim survived in this case as well, and now this individual is going to be looking at many, many years behind bars for this attempted murder plan because he was salty over some ArcAge beef. It's unhinged lunacy. You hear the news about the guy that flew 17 miles to a guy's house to murder them with a hammer over drama in a dead MMO. I saw a little bit about that story. What do you mean he flew 17 miles? That's like a 15-minute drive. I didn't see that. Is there even flights that'll take you 17 miles? I don't remember where it was, but that'd be like an actual 6-second flight. Like, how would you even get off the plane? You'd actually have to jump off with a parachute. You probably travel 17 miles on ascent. Like, from the runway, before you even reach cruising altitude, you've probably already reached well over 17 miles. Now I need to look it up and get more information. Where the fuck was this? Across a neighborhood? I'm just gonna type in flying hammer. I don't know what I expected. Oh, it worked. New Jersey man accused of flying to Florida to attack fellow gamer with a hammer. 20-year-old accused of flying from New Jersey to Florida to kill fellow online gamer with a hammer. The 20-year-old suspect was charged with attempted second-degree murder for attacking the victim whom he'd never met in person. Edward Kang and the victim had never met in person before the attack early Sunday, but they were acquainted through an online video game called ArcAge. ArcAge? Which Nassau County Sheriff Bill Leeper said during a press conference allows players to fight and kill each other's characters. You don't fucking say, Bill. Fucking obviously, Bill. Was that supposed to be like a big revelation? In this video game, you can fight other players and kill them! ArcAge, though. Holy shit. I didn't know that game was actually still around. I know you said dead MMO, but I thought the servers got shut down for that a long time ago. Holy. What a throwback. That's 2013. Reminds me Taylor Swift broke a jet record with a flight equal to a 5-minute drive recently. Hey, congrats. That's big, Taylor. I knew you could do it. I knew you could find a way to fly even shorter distances. I'm not even gonna fact check you because it sounds so believable.
Some things that make you say, what in the world does he think?
Kind of quiet, Bill.
Things that make you say, you're not gonna believe this.
Left ear only? Oh, okay. I won't torture you with that then. Damn it, Bill! Get your audio department in line. Lieber said it's unclear what exactly occurred in the fantasy game to prompt Kang to jump on a flight to the victim's Florida home Thursday evening, but the suspect told authorities after his arrest that the victim is a bad person online. What the fuck? That's... Oh, it's so creepy to read. Oh. Yeah, this Arcage player is a bad person. He killed me in PvP. After telling his family he was leaving New Jersey to meet a friend he met through an online video game years ago, Kang landed in Jacksonville from Newark and took an Uber to his hotel in Florida Fernandina Beach, arriving there at 2 a.m. June 21st. He later went to an Ace Hardware where he purchased a hammer and a flashlight, receipts in his hotel room showed. Then, around 48 hours after his arrival, Kang went to the victim's Fernandina Beach residence and entered through an unlocked door. The unknowing victim had been playing video games in his room when he got up to use the restroom, opened the door, and found Kang standing with a hammer raised in the air, anticipated strike position, while wearing all black gloves and a mask. Holy shit. The victim's stepfather said he was awakened by screams for help and entered his stepson's room to find him struggling on the ground with Kang still armed with a hammer. The victim and his stepfather were able to disarm and restrain Kang until deputies arrived at 2 a.m., when they discovered significant amounts of blood in the home's entryway in the victim's bedroom. Sheriff said both gamers, who are around the same age, were taken to a local hospital and have both been released. Kang into custody and booked into Nassau County Jail. The victim had severe head wounds, but they appeared to be non-life-threatening. That's super lucky. He got super lucky. Luckily, he survived. What a fucking insane person. Actual lunatic. The sheriff said his office believes Kang left New Jersey with the intent to kill the victim and that the suspect's charges of attempted second-degree murder and armed burglary may be upgraded in the future as investigation continues. They should be, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. This was clearly premeditated. After his arrest, Leeper said Kang asked the deputy how much jail time a person gets for breaking and entering an assault. I would say Mr. Kang is going to be a long time before you play video games again. That goes kind of hard. Oh shit, and that's particularly true for Arcage. According to an April announcement, the Korean massive multiplayer online role-playing game will shut down in Europe and North America on June 27th due to a decline in active players. And at least one of the active players is an actual maniac. Oof. He won't even get to say goodbye! Dude caught an attempted murder charge for a game shutting down in a few days. Yeah, it shuts down tomorrow. This guy said, fuck it, I'm gonna take him out. The incident serves as a stark reminder of the potential real-world consequences of online interaction. We urge the public to exercise caution, report any suspicious online behavior to the authorities, and always ensure their homes are securely locked. The shortest flight in the world is Logan Air Westray to Papa Westray route. It's about 90 seconds long and covers 1.2 miles. You should just be arrested if you take that flight. You should just go straight to jail to think about what you've done.